Good evening, everyone. I'm Kelvin, your host of Situations, the podcast.
And I'm your co-host, Miss Deanna. What's up, y'all?
How everybody out there doing today? Deanna, how you feel?
I'm pretty good, and you?
I feel good. I feel good. Got plenty of rest today, that's for sure. I couldn't
That's
turn them
always a
sheets
good
loose
thing.
today. But today we have a special guest in the building, and I thought it was time for us to really shine some light on this individual. You ready?
Yes.
Okay. Today on the
Let's
podcast,
go. Let's do it.
yeah, hold on. Okay, hold on one second. Let me give you a proper intro. Okay. Today on the podcast, we welcome a force of confidence, courage, and undeniable style. She's not just a model, she's a movement. Fearless in front of the camera and inspiring behind the scenes. She's breaking barriers, shattering stereotypes, and proving that beauty is only skin deep. From runways to real life, her journey is one of resilience, purpose, and power. Get ready for a conversation that's raw, real, and reddenly bold. This is the voice of a woman who refuses to dim her light for anyone. So please, let's welcome the one and only Eden S. Eden, how you
Hi
doing
guys,
today?
how are you?
How you feel?
Hi.
How you
I'm
feeling
feeling
today?
great. I was looking forward. Um, I had all types of stuff going on in my mind today, up until like an hour ago when, oh shit, I gotta get, excuse my language, I gotta get ready to be on a
Right, right.
podcast. This is my first time. hmm
Okay, so you ready?
hmm
Diana, you ready?
Absolutely.
Okay. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open up. I'm gonna take the first question. I'm gonna ask you this first question.
hmm
Um, I want to know, how has your cultural background influenced your style as a model?
Setting the tone. Coming from a background of Laotian, Vietnamese, Chinese ethnicity, we come from a, I was born here and I know nothing about the motherland or anything like that. And my parents always told me how it was over there. And trying to um, speak two languages at being born here was a challenge. Growing up was a challenge here. Um, Everything was a challenge from my parents had a language barrier, and I didn't really have much help in doing homework. I kind of had to figure it all out myself. So,
Right. But was it actually a really challenge for you?
yes and no. I really paid attention to everything. I knew my parents couldn't help me, so it was all about like, all right, your parents can't really speak English very well, so you better pay attention in school and learn all you can. But growing up, we also had to do a lot of things. Well, me personally, my brother didn't really know much. My parents did a lot of things to keep us in private school, and the measures of what they had to do is they never told us what they had to do until we were older. And it was like, wow, you did that. And I find myself here now in the same shoes as my parents, doing the
Okay.
exact same thing for my kids.
Right. Okay. Okay. So, by you being like of Asian descent, are there any stereotypes
hmm
that you're tired of hearing?
Yeah, very. Going to a private school, I was the only, I felt like I was the only Asian student there, and I felt like I wasn't treated right, because I wasn't, like everyone else, and I felt like I was bullied growing up. And we went to the same school. We're growing up. It was like from pre-K 3, um, all the way to eighth grade. you're
Okay.
stuck with the same people all the way straight through. So you're with the same people every year. So it's a little hard. I'll get segregated, excluded a
Right.
lot, and I was, you know, I was by myself, sitting by myself. I was just didn't really have friends from preschool all the way to eighth grade, pretty much.
Right. So you said you was born here in the States though, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So what was the biggest challenge you faced in the fashion industry as an Asian model?
Um, First off, I didn't think I was gonna end up modeling. The challenges was I didn't think I was gonna be good enough, or can I even do this, or do I have the look, or will they pick me, or is it a certain style? Do you have to look a certain way? Do you have to be a certain height, certain weight? Because I was always on the heavier side growing up, and it stuck with me for a great while. And then I became very athletic and um, joined a lot of sports growing up, and that's when I started to shed some weight, um, and it was a battle. And kids growing up, to, even adults to this day, there's bullying going on still, believe it or not. I know it's hard to believe, but it is. Still today, I'm still segregated from my kind, my ethnicity. I always thought people didn't talk to me because of my appearance then, or the color of my skin. Um, and now that I made some changes, people still don't talk to me, especially during COVID was probably the most hardest times for me.
Okay.
Um, I started getting treated different amongst my neighbors. I was scared for my parents. I was scared for my kids. I was scared to go to the store, things like that.
Okay. Well, even with those stereotypes,
Hmm.
me personally, I think from outside looking in, I think you've done a great job in the modeling industry thus far because
Yes.
Thank you.
from the time I met you up until this
Yeah.
particular point in life, I think
Hmm.
that you've made some progress. You issue after
A
issue in
lot of
different
progress, yeah.
magazines. You're starting to make a name for yourself in the fashion world. So I think you've done a wonderful job. So don't let um, I'm gonna say ignorant people deter you
Right.
from your
Yeah.
your goals. You understand what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because
Hmm. Hmm.
that's just what it is. It's just ignorance, you know, and that's the only way I
Right.
can actually say it.
Yeah.
And it's sad that it's like that. It's sad that we still live in this type of world today.
Hmm.
It really
It
is.
is.
Hmm.
Yeah. Go ahead, Theon. What you say?
Yeah. I mean, I
No,
don't
I
give
was
a
agreeing with you. I was
damn
just saying
now,
it
but
is.
Right.
it is. And there's going to be people always saying something to you and at you, even with in your absence. And now I just don't give a F. I
Right.
Right.
really don't. Unless your name is
Yeah.
Nice War Combat AT&T.
Right.
Right.
So,
But yeah, if I were you, like I say, Dad, don't let it get to you. Just keep doing what you've been doing,
hmm.
because apparently
Yeah.
it's working.
Hmm.
Apparently it's working. So
Yes.
um, all I can say is that my hats off to you. Just keep doing
Thank
what you're
you.
doing.
Absolutely.
I want to see you
Hmm.
guys. I love to see you guys showing out there performing and doing what you do best.
Yeah.
And I just love to see it. You know.
Yeah. Look,
Um,
they call me Asian and I ain't even Asian, so
You look, you look like you're mixed, and I like, man, this woman just looks like she's mixed with Asian and black. She's like,
look,
that's what I
I'm
thought when
not
I first met you.
I
I
don't know.
really
Maybe
did. I
somebody
was
need to tell
like,
me something.
she's
Every
so
time I would go to the nail
pretty.
shop, every time I would go to the nail shop, they would be like, "Your mama lied to you. You look like us."
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah, and
goodness, my whole life.
I get that too. Yeah, because I
Yeah.
have like really curly hair and I don't know where I got
Hmm.
it from. And most of
Yeah.
us Asians don't have the curly hair, or
Right.
I got teased a lot because my hair was just like always like wild and stuff. I was called all types of names, and to this day, I'm
Uh-huh.
like, well, I learned to embrace myself. I like not a lot of
Right.
people come in Asians come with curly hair. Um,
Hmm.
and that's one thing that I want to teach my kids as well because they're struggling a little bit as well in school.
Yeah.
With the same things that I went through. But besides the ethnicity part, or
Right.
it was a lot more that happened along the way that that
Hmm.
kind of traumatized me, where I wasn't myself at all. I kind of lost myself there. I didn't know. I couldn't grasp onto reality. I didn't know where I
Okay.
was for a second because of the
Hmm.
things I went through.
Okay.
Right.
So
Well, with that being said, let me ask you this. Have you
yeah.
ever felt the pressure to change your appearance just to fit in?
No. Believe it or not, like no. I never changed who I was. I dressed the way I did. Um, I never did anything different. I was just myself. I'm like, well, whatever. I don't have much clothes. My parents couldn't afford any, whatever, like I didn't really care, and they don't know how it is. And I was always judged like, oh, she's wearing the same thing over and over. And I'm like, well, my parents are saving money, so um
Yeah.
and no, I didn't really care about that back then. It just happened to care more along the way as I got older, like in my 20s, or, you know,
Hmm.
um, struggling with the weight and appearance wise again. It's so being around with peers and, you
Right.
know, um, being in the Asian community, my mom's big on like reputation and how
Right.
you look. And she didn't
Hmm.
want me to have
Right.
tattoos. She's like, go erase them. I'm like, okay, go erase them. Things like that.
She said, "Go erase them, huh?" Shouldn't tell
It's
She said, "Go
funnier.
tell
erasing no
Yeah,
tattoos,
it's
right.
funnier
mommy."
Tell
when you say
mom
it
it
in
don't
our
work that
language.
way. Right. So
So, how did you come up with your personal style?
She's like, why you always gotta be different? Um, I'm
Yeah,
a
that's good.
tomboy. I kind of have a twist,
Hmm.
and I was before coming on here. I'm like looking through my closet, and I'm like, I'm just gonna come as is, how I normally am, in reality, and let everybody
Hmm.
see who I am instead of the camera
Yeah.
being all glamorous and like
right.
you know, and just see them for me.
Right.
And the tattoos, just yeah,
Okay. Well, there's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that. Come. You know, like you said, come as
Right.
you are. Just that way people can see you, the other
hmm
side of you versus seeing the glamour, the way you are when you're in
hmm
front of the
Right.
camera. So I can agree with that.
yeah,
Speaking of the camera, um,
yeah,
let me ask you this: have you ever had issues
yeah.
with photographers, or working with photographers because of your ethnicity?
No, not ethnicity wise. Um, not. I've only worked with the photographers that I've known and got comfortable with and got to know. I haven't. If there's a photographer that I'm not familiar with, I'll have somebody come with. The only problem I had with a photographer is like making me look something different than I'm not really am in person.
Right.
It's like that is not my face. That is not how I look like. And, yeah, it's cool and all, but like, but Jesus, like, my eye color is not that.
So what did they do? I mean, what did he do? Did he make your face, move your eyes? How many?
Um, AI,
Oh yeah.
yeah, it was, it's just like very tweaked and, it looks like me, but it didn't look like me. I still want to look like myself. Yes, it made me look a little bit,
Right.
more of like, but it just didn't look like he took the, hold on, people are just messaging me. Um,
Hmm.
take the time. Like, how did you just do that within like 10 minutes? Like, there's no way.
Right.
You didn't, I don't think you took the time. And I kind of felt like I got ripped off. Like, every time. I would ask for something and he'll get it done within like 2 minutes. I'm like, okay, I don't think you really took the time to go do this right the way I do. And every time I ask him to do a certain way, everything else comes different, you know, and I just felt like he was more of getting money out of me. And, every time I asked him to just edit something and it just comes back like just a little extra.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm not really a fan of photographers that do that because
Mm-hmm.
my thing is, you know, it takes, to be honest with you, to retouch a image, it should take you an
Mm-hmm.
hour, maybe an hour and 30 minutes, the right way,
Mm-hmm.
to do an image. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but those photographers that's just putting filters and using AI to change this or do this in a matter of seconds, I think that's weak. I really think that's weak. Is that
Mm-hmm.
that's to me? I don't think that's professional at all. That's just my personal opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just how I feel about it.
Yeah.
You know, and speaking of images, um, the images. Let's talk about the images you get from us. How do those images make you feel?
I'm excited to talk about that. I was very excited the very first time. It brought me back, and believe it or not, you're the very first photographer I shot with, and Miss Tiana was the very first stylist I had. I didn't know any style. I had no style. I had no direction. I had none of that. I didn't know what fashion was. And you had all this lined up, clothing, and I'm like, what is this? What is that? It was just like very new to me. I've never seen anything
Yeah.
like that. I wasn't exposed to that because I was always
Yeah.
inside and never really like looked into fashion or what's in right now because I was always kept,
Right.
that's another story, but I was always kept in. Um,
Right.
didn't want to go out because I thought I was not good. I shouldn't be seen in the public eye or something. So yeah, it was very like exciting. It was like I was kind of scared. I'm like, what is this? This jacket it has sharp things on it.
Right.
And but you
Hmm.
nailed it on the shoes though. The size, you got it. And it's my favorite
Yeah.
pair of shoes to this day.
Well, like I
That's
told
what's
you, like I
up.
told
Love
you,
it.
like I told you before, if you ever need styling,
Yeah.
that's the person you talk to. Because
Yeah.
she definitely
I
gonna get you
plan on
right.
the next one, another one.
Yeah, she
And
definitely
you
gonna
you
get
were
you
my
right.
first
No
you were my
question
Yep.
about
first
it.
She did
style.
my
You were my
hair.
first client. You were my first paid client. So
Yeah.
yeah, but I be
Yeah.
telling people
And then
I've
you
been
helped
doing
me
this
through
stuff.
the whole process too.
Yeah. I had a great
Yeah, you
time.
helped me through the whole process too. So yeah, and you like helped me you also helped Calvin like to position me, look this
Right.
way, hold on, let me
Yeah.
brush your hair, make sure my hair is all good and stuff like that. You just made me look so perfect on there. I'm like,
Look,
and then when the pictures came out, I'm
that
like,
that hair
that is not
that
me.
hair look, the hair thing
Oh
had threw me for a loop because remember your hair was wet. Your
Right.
hair was wet. And I was like,
yeah,
how we
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
dry this hair?
Oh, you remember that
And
part?
I had flat irons. Yes, and I had flat irons and I had some holding spray. My man, I don't even know how I thought of that. I was like, we gonna spray
Hmm.
the holding spray on the hair, then we just gonna flat iron it. Boom, and we dried it. It was crazy.
And it was
But it
so
came out
straight,
great.
and it stayed straight to the whole day. Yeah,
Yeah.
And the pictures came
Yeah.
out. The pictures came out superb. The images looked beautiful.
yeah,
They
yeah.
did. They
Yeah,
did.
we did our big one with that
And
one.
I didn't think
Cause I didn't even
from there, it was just, go ahead, sorry.
No, no, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead,
No, it
Eva.
was from there. It was just for just to get out of my comfort level. And I came across World Divas and I'm like, man,
yeah.
those are really good pictures. He takes really good pictures. And and we were in touch for like maybe like a month or two before I even decided, okay, let's do this. And it was just to get in front of the camera. And that's what he kept saying. Calvin kept saying, get in front of my camera, get in front of my camera. And I promise you, you will be the best version of yourself and you will really see you for who you really are. And I was like, that just
Yeah.
stuck me for. He said it will stick with me, and it did.
Right.
Yeah.
And well, let me say, I definitely enjoy working with you. That's for sure. Um, because
Absolutely.
me being a photographer, I have an eye for what needs to be on display. And I've
Mm-hmm.
been doing this for so long, I can actually see the beauty in a person. And I get clients like, well, I want to do a shoot with you, but I got to lose some weight first. I'm like, you got to lose some weight first. What do I have to do with anything?
Mhm.
Because
Right.
I feel too
Right.
big. I feel this. I feel that. I'm like, well, that don't matter to a real photographer, because a real photographer gonna know how to place you that
Right.
way you don't
Mm-hmm.
appear to be as big as you say you are. You know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
um, and that was the issue with you, Eden, because you stated, I know you was nervous, you didn't know what to expect,
Yeah.
and the final outcome. So, the final outcome of those images, what was your thought process when you saw it?
That I didn't think it was me. And I was like, Sandra, you actually really look like this, actually. You're not overweight. You didn't have to lose some weight. And I have like body dysmorphia where I still to this day where it will trigger somewhere I don't see myself for who I really am in the mirror. Or when we um when I look for clothes or dresses and stuff, I always think I'm still that big size. And then when I put it on, I'm just like, okay, all right, you gotta stop thinking like that. And
Yeah.
and seeing the images, I'm like, those are my legs.
Right,
Things like that. And he
right,
did say you're gonna see you who you really are. And I was like,
Yeah.
wow. And I took some behind the scenes as well, and you could tell that the way I was standing, I did not know what
Yeah.
to do. Like I was just standing very uncomfortable, very shy, very until, you know, both of you directed me and just said, okay, just breathe,
right.
you'll be
And that's what
fine.
that's
Sit this way, sit that way. And
right. Well, that's where our expertise come in at. Okay, we got somebody in the chat. Hold on one second.
hmm
Right.
We got what's up, cuz? I see you. Thank you. I appreciate you tuning in. He said hello to everyone. Um, hold on one second. Let me.
hi.
Hey.
Okay, he also said that he's been trying to catch this podcast for a while. Every Sunday, man. Every Sunday we're here, either at 1 p.m. or 6 p.m. But we'll let you guys know earlier part of the week at what time we're gonna air on Sundays. So it's either gonna be at 1 p.m. or 6 p.m. on Sundays.
Right.
Okay. Uh, Eden, let me ask you this: do you feel Asian beauty standards
hmm
are different from the Western ones, and if so, how?
The Asian, say that one more time, the question.
Do you feel the Asian beauty standards
What was the
different?
question?
Do you feel
Oh,
Asian
okay.
beauty styles are different from the Western
Yeah,
ones? Okay, and if so, how?
yeah, yeah. I know to me, to my mom, and to our culture, we're supposed to be really petite, and I'm not nowhere petite. They're shorter, they're smaller. They don't like muscles on a woman. Um, they want you to look a certain way.
Right,
And my mom even told me to do something with she told me not to work out and don't lift weights. My thighs are looking manly and stuff like that. And um, they do have a expectations when you're in a cultural um, outfit.
right,
I think I've shown some of our culture. Um, they're supposed to look very thin, and that's what everybody in our community expects, especially when we're going into traditional clothing and stuff to um, be in that without any tattoos. And I was always a different one. I had piercings and stuff, and that my mom was just, you just have to look different. You know what people are gonna say? You know, I have to hear this all over the temple. Yeah,
but
very, very different.
yeah, but how does she feel? How does she feel now that she see the progress that you've made in this culture?
She hasn't said much anymore. She doesn't say anything anymore. And I told her, this is who I am. If you want me to be like everybody else, then that's not gonna work, and that's not who I am. Then we would be all in one robotic, right? And if you keep hearing
Right.
about reputation and stuff like that, how is that? It's just not. It's just not gonna. It's gonna be a conflict, and you gotta. And I felt like she wasn't accepting me for me, but I'm like, you're telling me to change.
Right.
This is who I am. But now she just understands the why I have, because I didn't care. I don't care anymore. Like, this is me. Let me speak out. I always wanted to be different. I didn't always want to fit in. And I
Right,
wanted to, well, there's a saying by Dr. Seuss, why fit in when you can stand out? And I wanted to not be like everybody else. I wanted to voice myself that I am different. I'm not like everybody else. Don't expect me to be.
right.
Right.
Okay. Um,
Mhm.
so do you think there's any misconceptions people may have about the modeling industry?
Yeah, yeah. I've got a lot of comments. Um, you know, people didn't like it then. They're always gonna say something, right? And the
Right,
thing is, I'm not trying to be better than anybody else. I'm not trying to show that I'm modeling and doing that. I'm really here to really inspire a lot of people because from my background and the history that the things that I had to endure wasn't easy for me to get in front of the camera. It wasn't
Right.
easy just to go in public. It wasn't easy to reach out to you or things like that. And it's just
Right.
it's hard. And I get a comments in the community like, oh, now she just thinks she's better because she's modeling, and why does she look like this? Why does she look like that? I'm like, hey, when I wasn't a model, you still had the same opinion about me. So what difference is it now? But have
Exactly.
if it was the other way around, I I'd be happy for you. All power to you. I will even help you.
right,
Like this is, and I
Right.
don't know a lot of
Right.
Other Asian models that I know that are doing what I'm doing. I'd be very happy if
Right.
there is more Asian models as well. I want to encourage them. Set the tone and like, if everybody else has the confidence and do it. In modeling, it does help bring yourself out to who you really are too as
right,
well.
Hmm.
It brings once you were once insecure, now you're not, and you conquer that. And
Right.
that's what I want for other people and other women as well. Like it's not just about being a model, it's being a role model as well.
Yep.
absolutely.
You can
Right,
if you can do something like that and be comfortable with that, then you conquered it all because what's the number one fear a lot of people have is speaking in front of a live audience. Being in front of the
Right.
camera is the same thing.
right, right. Okay, we got a, comment here in the chat. Uh, Barry said, I strongly believe there's a difference between working out and toning the body. I totally agree with you. There is, especially
Right.
in the modeling industry. You want to be a certain fit, a certain tone, and you want to have a certain
Hmm.
look because you want your clothes to fit right.
Right.
I mean, I'm talking
Right.
to two models. I have two models here in front of me. Am I correct, you guys?
You're absolutely correct.
Right. Okay, so I totally agree with the comment you made, Barry. That's absolutely, you're 100% certain with that. Because you want to, like I said, you want to present yourself in a certain way. You want to look a certain way, not because that's the norm for the industry, but it's all about self appearance as well too.
Right.
Hmm.
Right.
And
And
the
the better you
way I
feel
didn't
about
do it just
yourself.
to,
Well, go
when you
go
look
ahead,
good, you
Oh,
feel
Tiana.
good.
go ahead.
Go ahead, Tiana.
No,
Well,
that's what I said. The better you feel about yourself.
yep. When you look good, you feel good. But with
Yeah.
me, I
Right.
didn't really do it for just to be physically fit. I think I was not healthy. I was not in the best health. I was always I was depressed. I was sick. I was there is a sickness where you get depressed, you don't think, you can't, like I said, you can't comprehend to reality. You don't know where you're
Mhm.
at. You can't grasp onto it. You're trying to get a hold of it, but you can't because you see yourself as one thing. You don't know what the outside world is. You only know what you're used to every day, which is being inside. And
Right.
people didn't believe me. I'm like, there is such a thing that you do get sick from that. And my kids, when they wanted to go outside, for instance, and they wanted to play, I was too tired. I was too depressed. I was always like, I can't do it. I can't do it. And I woke up one day and it's not what I want. And, being a single mom, they're gonna need someone to teach them things.
Right.
And
Right.
I'm like, Sandra, you grew up playing sports. You're an athlete. What are you doing? Get yourself together. Your kids need you. Who's gonna teach them how to play catch? Who's gonna teach them how to do all types of stuff? Who's gonna help them teach ride a bike? You better get up and do it. It's more so to keep up with my kids and to
Right.
teach them things.
Right.
And that was it was a wake up call. And then back then I got into drugs. I got into partying. I got into things like that. And it was a way for me to suppress things, and it took a toll on my body. It took a toll on my mind. My mindset was not there. And
Hmm.
to come home and you're not able to do things with your kids, it's just like this is not who you are, Sandra. Like these kids
Right.
need you, and you better you. This is you. You are a very active person. You need to go back to being that person again.
Right. Well, I'm glad you've overcome those demons. You know,
Yeah.
and you look good. You look
Hmm.
great. So don't
Amazing.
right. Don't
Thank
stop
you.
doing what you're doing. Continue on that path because you're on the right path. I seen your journey. I
Mhm.
seen your weight loss journey, and all I can say is you're on the right
Thank
path.
you.
I want to say one thing, and a lot of
Sure.
people may not need. A lot of people may know this and
Hmm.
may not know this, but you talked about sports. Now, a lot of people might don't know
Hmm.
you out here beating bitches up too, though. You a lot of people don't know you're a fighter.
Mhm.
A lot of people don't know you
Yeah,
boxing, you
yeah.
MMA. They don't know
I
this
became a
about you,
fighter in boxing.
right?
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you this:
Yeah.
you and
Hmm.
Clarissa Shields in the ring, who wins?
I will keep on if I
You
don't do it the
better bet
first
on
time, I will keep
yourself.
fighting until I win that first win it.
I know, right? So
Yeah, I'm gonna keep
Okay.
going. If I fall, like if I, go ahead.
so let me ask you: how long have you been actually fighting?
How long I've been doing it? Go ahead.
How long have you been fighting?
Um, I s- I started in 2019. 2019, 2020. This is during
Okay.
COVID. We had nothing to do. I worked at a boxing gym. I was a kids coach, athletes coach. Um, you know, there's a boxing ring, so we all couldn't go anywhere. So here comes the gloves. Start don't start practicing, and it just took off from there. And from my background, like I said, I've also went through domestic violence. And it's wasn't I like to this is the best way to describe it, I would say. I'm J-Lo and I had it enough.
Right, right,
And
Okay.
those kind of things do really happen, and that was
Yeah.
just the last of it. I'm like, I am not gonna ever go through that ever in my entire life. And I have two daughters. Imagine
Hmm.
like going somewhere and you're gonna have to defend yourself let's just say I would not put myself in a situation where that will ever happen to me again. Um,
Right.
I wish he would though, try it. No. But that's what happened. That's how I got into boxing, and that's the story. And they tease me, okay, J-Lo. I'm like, hey, that's the best way to do it. That's the best way to describe it. I don't know how else to say it, but that's
right.
like how I got through it was boxing. I took it out on that,
Okay.
and I made a punching bag out of my children's father's clothes.
You so you whooping men too now, huh? Well, Clarissa, she's offering.
So, and then
Go ahead, go ahead. No, no, go ahead. I'm gonna let you finish.
my daughter, my one daughter, my second daughter, she is now in boxing.
Okay.
So I knew one of them was gonna. They were both hockey players, ice hockey players. Um, and then
Hmm.
one of them just stopped, and the other one just decided I'm gonna do boxing. And I got back into boxing probably last week because they lost the passion for hockey, and I didn't want them to lose the passion for it because they see me as just myself, and they look at it like I don't want to do this because it's another expense for mommy. And I'm like, no, if you
Right.
want to do it, go for it, you know. And
Right.
Right.
I got back into it. Who knows? I might end up fighting again. I don't know, but I
Hmm.
have a coach now. He's a pro fighter. I just met him. I met him 2 months ago, um, at a boxing event. I was the ring girl, and my coach is my daughter's coach now was my former coach, and I didn't want to take that away from her because that's her coach now.
Right.
And having her coach train me, it wouldn't just be fair. It's just I want the focus to be on her. So,
Okay. Well, I did notice you said
mhm.
you tried to slip this in, but it didn't get by me. I caught it. You said you whoop your kid's
Mhm.
father. Now let's talk about that for a minute. I heard when you said that. Now,
No,
did my
not
ears deceive
exactly.
me?
I said I wish he would try it now.
Oh,
I wish he would try something now, but but yeah,
okay.
just just something I overcame, and I just want to be that um to voice it out, like, hey, those stories and those things do really happen to people, and they
Right.
say there's a story behind every doing,
Right. Right.
and I didn't just become a boxer because of that. Like, there has to be a reason behind it all, and
Right.
that was my
Absolutely.
reason.
So with what? So at what point was your "I made it" moment?
I made it.
Mm-hmm.
And I made it. I didn't realize that my appearance and the weight loss has changed drastically. I didn't. I was just so focused on doing that and doing it every day that I didn't even notice the changes at all. While people, and I still kept myself away from everybody. Um, People didn't see me for years and years, and so I probably just popped out like 3 years ago, and they're like, Sandra? Like, yeah, that's me. Wow, completely. They didn't recognize me at all
Right.
because I was hidden and away from everybody. They didn't even know I moved back, and I lived down the street from a couple of my friends.
So let me ask you, how are you
Mhm.
feeling mentally? I mean, are you mentally
Mentally,
okay? Are you, you know, are you I know you've been through a lot. You've been
hmm
dealing with a lot. So how's your mental?
it is great. Is I am nowhere near how my thought process back then was.
Okay.
Um, if I tell people what my thought process and how it operated back then, I was being judged, and they're like, "Well, you can't think that way," and I'm like, yes, you can. Yes, you are. Those things do happen to people, and you can't say you can't think that way because you never lived it.
Right.
So, and it was now do I have those type of my thought process the same? No, not at all. I'm like, I can't believe I even thought that way. I even can't believe I had those type of, I even thought it was more like harming myself or harming others, that kind of thought. It was like a postpartum, very
Hmm.
bad one, postpartum depression for a
Right.
while. Um, so that just took a toll on me. But for me to think that now my mental health is great. Like, I'm always smiling now. I never smiled, and I smile every single
Yeah.
day. Like, I could be doing something and I'm smiling, and I just I just like to make people smile. You set the tone. When you smile, it makes them smile.
Yeah.
Right, right. That's good. I'm glad to see you. I'm glad to see
Right.
you in that space.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
because
Mm-hmm.
mental illness is real, and
It is.
if no one
Yeah,
checks
it
on each
is.
other, you know, you just
Right.
never know what a person may be
Mm-hmm.
going through or what they're up against or
Yeah.
what they're dealing with,
Yeah.
so but like I
Mm-hmm.
said, I'm glad to see you overcome that and your mental health is good, and just like I say, just
Mm-hmm.
keep prospering. That's it.
Yeah.
Just
Thank
keep
you.
prospering. Um have you ever experienced racism or microaggression in the industry?
No, not yet. Not yet. I don't think.
You say not yet, as if you are
I
expecting it.
don't think. Yeah, I think it's gonna happen. I know that it's gonna. I haven't been exposed yet enough, but I know that maybe I may come across it. Yeah,
Are
because
you
right now
are you prepared?
I'm
Are you
surrounded by
prepared for it?
absolutely.
Okay.
That's
All
what's
right.
up.
Well, like I said, I've been around for a
Hmm.
while. I've been doing this for a while, and you were the first Asian model, fashion model that I've ever saw. I've never seen an Asian model in the fashion modeling world. Have you, Thiana? Have you ever seen it, Thiana? Since that's your lane,
I haven't.
right? I haven't either. So I think you're paving the way
Yeah.
for little girls that look like you
Right.
that may want to follow in your footsteps. So
Right.
Hmm.
I think what you're doing is great. You know, I think what you're doing
Thank
is
you.
is is a wonderful thing for, like I say, because it might be some little girls that look up to you that might want to follow in your footsteps. And if you're
Right.
paving that way for them in the modeling world or in the fashion industry, you're opening the doors for people that's coming from behind, people that's coming behind you,
Right.
Hmm.
Right.
which is a good thing because now your name will be stamped, as a pretty much an icon, because you paved the
Right.
way,
Hmm.
for someone else, you know.
Right. And that's what I was gonna say.
And I
And
would
that's why I
love
was
that.
asking you, like, where did you get your personal, how did you come up with your personal style? Because when I went to, remember, I didn't talk to you. I went to your page and I looked at your pictures, and I saw you had the tattoos and your haircut on the
Yeah.
side and this and that. That's how I came up with how to style you. I looked at who you were already
Yeah.
and
Right.
was just like, let me just try to add to what her look already is.
Yeah, you nailed it though. I like that. It wasn't like glamorous. I don't like girly stuff at all. The worst thing I would ever, I don't like wearing
Yeah.
dresses. Heels, no, at all.
Hmm.
I know
Yeah.
I have to shoot in them, but the minute I have to take them off, they're coming right off. Like, no. There's dresses I just wear one
Yeah.
time or I donate them. I'm never, my my closet is full of sweats and hoodies
Yeah.
and gym shoes.
Okay.
Yeah. But I
But
had a
I
few
shoot
different looks,
strong,
but the one
strong
that
in
we
them.
chose, I was like, I think this gonna be her style right here.
Yeah, you nailed it. You definitely nailed it with that
Yeah,
look.
I
Yeah.
loved it.
Yeah, you nailed that look. That was
My
a
neighbor actually borrowed the my my neighbor borrowed that jacket. Um, she liked it.
Okay.
Nikita, you'll meet her
right,
along the
right. I
way.
know who you're talking
Yeah.
about.
Yeah. She's like, oh my God, this
Okay.
is it.
I
Let
got
me
one
borrow
too.
this. I'm like, that's the jacket. That's yeah, I love it. I
Well,
still have the tag on
Yeah.
it.
I got
I
one
keep really
too.
good care of it. I just love
right.
it. Hmm.
Okay. Well, ladies,
When I
we
went
got
to get
something
it, I
special
got
coming
I
up
got
here.
two of them.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, let's talk about what we got coming up here real soon. Let's talk about this next shoot we got coming up. You know,
Mm-hmm.
It's some static going on.
You got static?
Yeah, I hear some static.
Yeah.
I don't hear it.
Is it me?
Can you still hear me? Eden, can you hear
It's
me?
better now. No, when you
I can
first
hear
started
you.
talking, it came. It's gone now.
Okay. All right. Well, let's talk about the shoot that we have coming up. What's that? The 21st. How do you feel about that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Tiana, you also going to be involved in this next fashion shoot. How do you guys feel about that?
Yes.
Excited.
I'm excited.
Okay. Well, I'm definitely looking
You're
forward to
gonna
that.
you're gonna be like the mentor though.
You
You're gonna
guys
be
want me
the
to be the mentor?
mentor for me for sure, like you were the first time.
Right.
Oh,
Well,
I'm
like I
talking
say,
about T
well,
You talking
well,
Tiana.
about
like I
me
say,
or
I
Kelvin?
don't.
He's gonna, yeah,
Go ahead, Eden. I'm sorry.
Oh,
yeah, you, because like
oh,
I
yeah, that's fine.
you're gonna be that mentor for. I look at you as a mentor because I'm like, oh, great, she's in it. Remember when I messaged you
No.
like, do you want to be a model
Yeah.
or a makeup artist? You're like both,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I think you should be the model because then I can just do, watch you and how you do it, and then I'll go right behind you and do the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, but no, I'll be
so I'm
there. So
excited for
however
that.
I can help. Yeah.
Right. This is what you
Yeah.
call
Yeah, I
networking.
just
You
like
know.
having a great outcome. Like whoever needs help, however I can fit in and do whatever I need to
Hmm.
do to help, that's my mindset.
What's
So
the
we
one
gonna
thing
have a
you
great
guys are
time.
looking
Everybody
forward
gonna look
to?
great.
What's that?
What's the one thing you
um,
guys are looking forward to on this next shoot?
This is gonna be a big one. Actually, lot bigger than the first one.
Right.
So there's gonna be a lot of styles, a lot of, there's new girls, new models coming on as well.
Okay.
Some of the girls that didn't make it to the last one are showing up. Um, one of the models is my niece. She's coming.
Okay.
Um, yeah, this time it's just everybody's different. Everybody's coming from all different backgrounds, ethnicities, and skin color. Like, like it's gonna be diverse for sure.
Right.
And I
Right.
look forward
Right.
to that.
I'm definitely looking forward to it. But by the way, I want to listen. I'm gonna send a major shout out to Ronnie. Ronnie, great work, man. Keep
Hmm.
doing what you're doing. You know. Speaking of
yes,
Ronnie,
that's my new bestie.
right. Speaking of Ronnie, Eden, um, how long have you been signed with them? How long have you been with them?
Um, I've known Ronnie for like 2 years now. I know like we were trying to do something 2 years ago, and then he went on a break. He had to take some time off on a
Okay.
leave, and then when he came back really strong. So I would say a good year
Okay.
that I've been with him
Okay.
about now. Hmm.
All right. Good. Yeah.
But I've known him for a little over the two.
So, do you think Asian representation in global fashion is improving?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
definitely because when I feel like when I post my pictures, a lot of people would have never thought like, what? She models? Or I've never seen like Asian women model or
Right.
there's not a lot of us. And except for like Miss Universe, Miss Laos from our country and stuff like that. But I would just want to like there should be more. And I think a lot of people probably feel the same way. They feel, like stereotype and maybe they're scared too. Like to come on camera or be in front of the camera. And they're slowly coming.
Yeah,
I made some friends along the way.
Right.
Um, I think it has a lot to do with insecurities and the community that we grew up with. That it's not
yeah,
something that they don't want us to do. They think modeling, they think we're doing like Playboy or something like that, or that's
yeah.
what they think of modeling when they hear that word.
Right. Well,
Oh, look, I remember y'all know Kamora Lee Simmons, right?
right.
Ain't she half Asian or
Yes,
something?
yes.
Yeah,
Or
yeah. I
Korean or
think
something?
she's
Kimura.
in.
Like
Yeah,
that.
She's part of that culture.
Korean and yeah, Korean and black.
Right.
hmm
That's why I say
Right. But she was
it's not
modeling.
very
Asian
That's what I'm
or
many.
saying. It
Indian.
like,
My daughter name.
right.
hmm
Yeah, it's definitely not
And
very
then the
many of them.
hot
Yeah.
what import nights, import car shows or whatever. Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
So, have your parents have they embraced you, or have they embraced the idea of what you're doing now, as and they or do they still somewhat criticize your 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 career?
My mom's actually she's after she's seen me in magazines and how I'm like dressed and she thinks it's very inspiring. She said not a lot of people now she says not a lot of people do that from our culture. And I said, well, I kind of wanted to do it to show that it's okay. There should be more of us. They're not alone. If it's something that they want to do, go for it. And I'm here
Right.
to help along the way and let them know what it's like, the journey, the obstacles that we have to go through, and we can go do it together. So I
Right.
think they're a little. I feel like some are afraid right now, or they're scared, or they think, well, no, I don't see other Asians doing it. I don't see other girls doing it. I don't think I should. Again, they're
Hmm.
worried about the reputation and things like that.
Right. Well, see, that's why I say it's not many Asian models that's in the game
Right.
right now. So that should give you all
hmm
the more reason to want to do it,
hmm
to kick the door down. Make a
Right.
way.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying? Make a way. I mean, because like I said,
hmm
you were the
Right.
first. You were the
hmm
first I've
Yeah.
saw, and you were the first I've worked with, and um, and I haven't seen a lot. I haven't seen a lot of it. So like I say, kick the door down. Make a way for somebody else that might be following in your footsteps.
Yeah.
Don't what am I trying to say? Don't like I said, just continue to do what you do. The path that you're
Right.
on, you see in progress. You're in magazine after
Yes.
magazine after magazine. So apparently your look
hmm
it fits. It
Right.
fits.
hmm Thank you.
It fits. And
And I was just only supposed to take pictures with you, okay? It was just supposed to be for myself. Like, let's just do this. Let me get through and take these pictures. Let me see what he's talking about. But from there, I didn't think I was going to go beyond and,
and look
take modeling more
and look where it
seriously.
got you.
And
Look where you're
yeah.
at now.
Right. Right.
That one
hmm
photo shoot, I put that I instilled that courage in you to do so,
hmm
and look at you now. So
Thank you.
that's why I say you definitely have what it takes. You got what it takes. You just got to
Yes.
overcome that. You got to, whatever it is that you
hmm
you you got inside of you that's holding you back. It's time to turn that loose. You got to let that go.
Yeah.
You got to let that
Yeah.
go. You know,
Exactly.
um,
hmm
and once you let that go, you'll actually see the progress you can actually make.
Right.
hmm
Let me ask you this:
hmm
Has there been a photo shoot or a campaign that felt that you felt deeply personal to you? That's been real personal to you.
Um, yes, there is. Um, there is a photographer that I am working with. His name is Louis, and this is probably one of the shoots that I don't have to. I just come as I am. And if I haven't shown these pictures yet, I haven't posted them yet, but taking pictures and modeling is also a way of expressing yourself that you can't speak out. And by looking at these pictures, you can actually tell um, the mental illness awareness. You could tell if I was to be submitted, there's a photo for that. Um, if I was going through, well, I lost my dad in the end of December 30th, 2022. Um, and there was certain photos or shots where you could see my expression just expressing how like empty I felt.
Right.
And but it was a great picture.
Mm-hmm.
You know how some people sketch or draw when they're just like want to express themselves? Well, expressing myself is sometimes through the camera, where I could be just dancing and just walking around and just thinking of like my dad or something. My mind goes somewhere else, and it'll be captured on the
Right.
camera. But it'd be a really
Okay.
good picture. It's
Yeah.
like wow, you could really tell that I'm thinking at the moment in time that I miss my dad, or there's some part of me that's missing or thinking about something that's a connection to something else, you know?
Right. Mm-hmm.
And then there's he plays with all this lighting where I'm just spinning around in a chair and it really doesn't affect. And to me, that just that speaks. I did a whole 360, a whole transformation, but yet you can still see my face and image is just going.
Okay.
That's what he was able to capture, and that was very meaningful.
Okay. Well, I can't wait to see the outcome of those. I can't wait to see what those look like.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
So, how do you stay
I
grounded with
have them.
so
I
much?
just haven't posted them because it just makes me like,
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Finish your statement.
what was I gonna say? I have them. They're ready. They've been done for a while. I just haven't posted them because they mean so. It brings out an emotion for sure.
Right.
It brings me like it takes you back on memories, flashbacks of all the things that you've been through and how you've conquered it all. It shows a lot in those pictures. Once you see them, you're gonna be like, I see, I know, I can see it. I can definitely
Okay.
see it. Where the
Mm-hmm.
loneliness, sometimes I feel lonely. And you could tell in the picture, I look really lonely. Like, or a picture, she needs a hug. She doesn't have nobody. It really speaks that way. The way you see it is the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
Can't wait to share. I would love to share it with that with you. You'll see you'll know what I'm talking about.
Okay. So, how do you stay grounded with so much pressure?
Um, with so much, I've worked like 6 jobs, full-time student. I'm a single mom. I think I have ADHD. I find things to do and I keep going and going. And I know like if I don't get it done, who else is gonna do it for you? Um, and the first thought that comes
Yeah.
into mind is my dad. He, my life was easy. He made my life easy because of him. And without him now, my life is a little harder because he was
Right.
my go-to for everything. So it makes you like, Sandra, all you have is you
Yeah.
better do it. You got yourself, and my mom is the one now that I'm worried about too. Like if she hasn't been the same since my dad left, and probably saved her life 3 times already because she
Right.
hasn't been the same.
Okay.
And
Well, I'm sorry. I'm really
it's
truly
like
sorry to hear that.
it's okay.
You know,
Yeah.
prayers going out, for you and your family.
Yeah,
I hope your mom is able to,
thank
to
you.
pull through because I know how
She's good.
triggering that
She's
can
good.
be.
Yeah.
You
Hmm.
know.
Okay.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah.
Oh wow. I didn't know that you were dealing with that sort of pressure.
Oh yeah. Like I feel like um now it's like whatever my dad did for my mom, where it's like me now that has to do that for her. He never he was the one who took her to the stores. She didn't have to do all that. Take her shopping, did all the outside work while she took care of the home. Now it's like with all the stuff that is going on now, it's like I have to fulfill that. I have to take care of my mom. Like
Right.
she's not the same, and
Mm-hmm.
I have to fill that void that she's missing right now as well.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Totally understandable. But once again,
Mm.
my heart goes out to you and your family. And I hope, like I said, I hope your mom
Thank you.
will be able to pull through. You know, sad. Okay, hold on, stay tuned.
Looking to boost your brand? Advertise with Situations, the podcast where real-life stories meet real-time conversations. Reach engaged listeners and grow your business today.
Okay. Tiana, you got something for her?
I'm just here in admiration. We had an amazing conversation this time when we first met, and we interact and support each other,
Yeah.
on social media and stuff like that. And
Mhm.
I'm just, looking forward to, continuing building the friendship with you. And, maybe we could start hanging out or doing
Yeah.
some things and stuff like that and just keep supporting one another and just keep doing an amazing
I
job,
was trying to I was trying to get you to do my makeup on New Year's, but you you were busy. I think I hit you up and I was like,
Yeah.
Tiana, I'm gonna be in the city, do my
Yeah.
makeup. But yeah, I'm really inspired by you.
Yeah.
I thought you were like really like amazing with this pretty woman. I'm like, Jesus Christ, thank you. Yeah, I really look up
Thank
to you.
you.
Well,
Yeah, and it was like because we
yeah, I
both
look
talked
forward to it.
about being single moms and everything,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And the majority of the women that we're working with that we're working with right now are single moms.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
these are they're a bunch we're in the right group because these are like
Yeah.
women where they're doing the same thing as you. They're go-getters. They just don't stop at all. They just
Yeah.
going and going. We uplift each other. We know what it's like. We back each other up. We if you ain't got it, we do. Make sure we just take care of each other. If your hair is not a certain
Yeah.
way, we're gonna run over there and fix your hair for you. We're gonna
Right.
fix your dress.
And that's how
Right.
it should be. That's how it should be.
Mhm,
I love when women can, support one another, love on one another, and
mhm,
it's like it's enough, money, glam, whatever out here for all of us to shine and be beautiful
mhm.
and just continue to be uplifting. I love to see it.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Can't wait. Couple more weeks.
I know.
Yeah, it's approaching fast. It's approaching
Yes.
fast. So, Edie, let me ask you this: what
Mhm.
does beauty mean to you now versus when you first started modeling?
Beauty comes from skin deep and way beneath. It doesn't mean what you
Yeah.
look like on the outside. It's what who you are from the inside, and it's up to you to bring it out. Because
Right.
who you are, once you find that person deep down inside, it's not gonna matter what you look like on the outside. You're gonna love yourself even more. You just had to find it.
Yeah.
You just have to go back and take yourself back to where you were when you were happy, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
You just have to fight through it and you'll get there.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter. But I think it comes from here. It really does. From the heart.
It does. Absolutely.
What are you most proud of outside of modeling?
Um, you know what? Like I know my kids are inspired by me. One decided to do boxing because she got inspired by me, but my kids inspire me. And being
Mhm.
able to um, play that role where I taught them a lot, where, you know, taught them how to do a lot of things and to be fearless.
Right.
Um, if you want it, go get it. Don't be afraid. You know, you can stand up for yourself. Don't be afraid to tell me anything. I know because it comes from you. And I used to be that
Right.
scared person, and that's what they started to pick up on. I can't do this. I can't do this. And then, but if you go out there and do it and without any fear, your kids are gonna do the same. And
Right.
Right.
I don't think anybody wants to mess with them.
Well, I will say this. I'd be inspired too if my mom was out here whooping people ass. That inspired me too. I definitely
Oh.
wanted. I'm following in my mom's footsteps. If that's the case, so y'all better be careful. Y'all ladies that running up on her, y'all better be careful. She got them hands. She got them hands for sure. Oh man. Now I know earlier today I asked you about the Clarissa Shields. Who will
Mhm,
win in a fight with you and her? And you said you. You
mhm.
do know that she's paying people that think they can fight to come in the ring with her. Did you hear that? Do you know about that?
Ooh.
Yeah,
I did
she
not hear that.
yes, I seen her you know, I follow her on social media, and
Okay. Okay.
she had
I
one
had to
girl
fix my
thought
glasses.
yeah, she had one girl was in there talking crazy to her, and they got in the
Hmm.
ring. It didn't end well for her. Oh, girl, it didn't end well for her at all. But
Hmm.
you honestly think you can take it though?
I said, even if I get knocked down, I will get back up and I will keep going. I will fight her as many times until I get better and better. And right now, like I said, I'm back in boxing, even though last week was my first day back. It might just have me get really back into it. And he's a yeah, he's a pro fighter. Met him by accident. His name is Torrin Turner from Racine, Wisconsin. Him and his coach are helping me. That's
Right,
another story where I struggled to find help. It was something that I wanted to get back for my daughter, so that she doesn't lose it. I got all types of no's here. They can't do it. They don't have time. And um, and I didn't want to ask Torrin at first if he could help me and train me because he has fights coming up. I didn't want to take too much time, but for him to say, I will help you. And I asked him, how much are you going to cost? And he said, I don't charge to anybody to teach something that I already like doing, and that's to help people.
right,
So it might be the it might be the part where I will be coming back to. I've thought about it the whole week that this if I end up fighting, I just might end up doing it one more time for the one time.
right. Well, I mean, um, you know, it's just like riding a bike. You know, you don't forget how to fight. You know, if it's
Hmm.
in you,
Right.
it's in you. You know,
Hmm.
you might have
Right.
to work on technique and
Hmm.
timing. You know, but
Right.
the dog
Hmm.
is in you. You know, you don't lose that.
Hmm.
You know,
Right.
but the
Hmm.
just don't do any fighting before the 21st. Now, don't do anything before the 21st.
Okay.
Oh,
Right. We're
um,
gonna need you. We're gonna
how much? How much is she talking about?
Who
How much
I
money
don't
she
know.
putting
You
on
might
the line
see what
though?
you got. You
Would
got to
she
you got to
pay?
go to her page. Go to her page. I'm gonna tell you what the girl's been doing. They go to her Instagram page
Oh my goodness.
and they talk crazy to her and
Yeah.
tell her you get in the ring with her. And she don't say, okay, I give you 2,000. Come in the ring. Give me five. I give you 5,000. Come on, get in this ring. And
Okay. I gotta. Oof.
and I'm tuned in. I'm there. I ain't gonna tune in. I'm gonna be there. Look at her. She thinking. Deanna, she thinking about
I really am.
I
I could use some
know.
money right now.
it. Yeah, but Clarissa, she's dangerous too now. She got them hands too now. She got that knockout power.
Street fighting.
Yeah, she got that knockout
Oh man,
power.
I
So be
haven't been punched
careful.
in the face in a long time.
But like I say, just if you're
Yeah.
gonna take on such a challenge like that, just wait till after the 21st. Let's get this major shoot out the way first, and then that give you, in case something
Exactly.
don't go as planned,
Yeah,
you have time to
yeah.
heal. Okay,
I'll take it easy.
right? You have time.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, all right. I know I'm not gonna keep you too long. Um, so at this time, I would like for you to just tell everybody where they can find you at your social media accounts and your platforms. That way they can reach out to you if need be. So just tell everybody
Okay.
at this time. Just tell everybody where they can find you.
On Instagram, I am Eden underscore ESS, and it's spelled EIDIN underscore ESS, like S. Also, my real name is Sandra. Eden S is my model name, and there's a reason behind it.
Okay.
S, Miss S.
Okay. Eating this. Right. Right.
Hmm.
Okay. And everybody know my co-host. Tiana, tell them where they can find you.
Hey y'all, I'm Tiana. You can find me on Facebook, Tiana Chester, Instagram, Miss Tiana, Snapchat, Deanna something. I forgot the number, but I think it's 50 or maybe 120. So I'm just getting in tune with Snapchat, but I mean, I'm not too hard to find. You'll see my picture with my name up there. Not a whole bunch of people with my name, but
Right.
you can find me.
Watching Situations, the podcast, where nothing is off limits.
Okay, everyone. As you all know, I'm Kelvin, your host of Situations, the podcast. And I would like for you guys to get over to our YouTube channel at Situations, the podcast. Make sure you turn on that notification bell and make sure you subscribe to our channel. It's free to do so. By you subscribing to our channel, that shows support and it helps our channel continue to grow. I would like to thank everybody that tuned in today. I appreciate you guys for taking the time out to stop by and spend some time with us today. I'd like to say thank you to our amazing guest today, Eden S.
Yes.
And we look forward to seeing you guys once again next week. Any closing remarks, Sandra, that you may have before we conclude today's show?
Just have no fear. If you want something, go get it. Who cares what anybody has to say?
I know that's right. Deanna, you got any
That's
closing
it.
words, any closing remarks?
And she said it best.
Right.
Get to it.
Get to it. All right, everybody. I'm gonna make that our closing remarks. And we look forward to seeing you guys next week. Same time, same channel, same place. Peace.
See y'all next week.